Thanks for tuning in to my gaming podcast, Gems in Gaming, where I play various games and tell different stories about my life, experiences, wisdom, anything to help inspire and encourage others. You were born with the ability to change someone's life, and you should never waste it. If you enjoy, please like, comment, or subscribe.
King Kane.
Alright, what's going on, y'all? So, as promised, I was going to pick up Fallout 4. We were saving Nick Valentine. The last topic I said I was talking about was faith without works. And, for anyone that doesn't really know me or my podcast or anything that I do, the choice of video game, as you can see, to talk about a topic seemed a little bit counterproductive, right? But I think that's perfect for the topic for today. And the topic for today is don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to fail. So it's interesting that you would have to wrap your head around a topic like that, or a concept like that, a concept of not being afraid to fail, right? But have you guys ever heard of the quote, "You'll laugh at your fears when you find out who you really are"? If you don't know that quote, or you haven't heard it before, I would look it up. You might even be surprised by who said it. I mean, at least from who I know said it. It might be an original author or original source for that, but the person that I know who said it came from another source that you wouldn't really expect to get. You really wouldn't expect to get encouragement from or wisdom from, right? A lot of the times, we expect wisdom or encouragement to look like a certain thing, like that kind of hurts us a little bit if you think about it. So for example, if I'm talking about faith without works is dead, and someone clicks on the video and they see me playing a video game that has death and murder and vulgar language, they wouldn't, I guess they, supposedly they wouldn't really expect that type of content for that type of topic. But, I understand that, right? And although I understand that, at the same time, there are people who haven't really heard this type of content before, who is in this type of space. And it would be actually more counterproductive for those people who haven't heard this type of content before, who's in this space, if I didn't go to where they were at, right? Or if I didn't try to relate to them in the same, I like the same content that they like, so why can't I talk about a particular topic, even though if we have a similar interest in this, then we might have common ground trying to understand the concept about faith without works is dead. And that goes for anything that I talk about. You can't really I heard another good quote. It said that never make perfect the enemy of good. Never make perfect the enemy of good. If you're afraid of failure, then you already screwed up, because you have to understand something. Like, you're gonna be bad at everything that you do the first time that you do it, or the first time that someone gets on YouTube, talks about faith without works is dead in a violent game like Fallout 4. It's gonna seem crazy. Like, it's gonna seem weird as heck. It has to. Right? It's the first time we've ever seen it. It's the first time someone's tried to do this. And I could be wrong about that. This could be plenty of people who has tried to do something like this, but let's just say this is one of the first. So you're just gonna walk past Nick. Okay, just walk past Nick and shoot me. I feel you. But yeah, this could be, I could be of the first group of people that is currently trying to spread wisdom using video games, right? So it's gonna seem weird and counterproductive and not righteous if especially if we're talking about faith without works, right? It's gonna seem weird. But to me that's alright, right? Like, to me, I've had people go like, bro, thank you for that word, thank you for that content. It was exactly what I needed. To me, that makes it worth it, right? Like, I'm not gonna win everybody. I understand that. I'm not going to appease to everybody. I understand that too. So when I take that mindset that I can't win with everyone, that means I'm a fail from time to time, right? If I'm not going to win with everyone, then I'm going to lose with someone. And I'm embracing that. I'm cool with that. Everything's not for everybody, but I can't be afraid of failure, right? So that's a small concept about being fearful of failure. Let's take a bigger example. I just got back off the road. If you don't know, I had a business called Pitch Play Co. Fairly new. We just did 1 year. This actually is our first year, or our second year in business. We just completed our first year, and I just got back off the road doing a podcast in Raleigh, North Carolina. Beautiful city, by the way. I'm gonna try to convince my wife to move there, but she's gonna watch this and be like, nah, we staying in Atlanta. But it's a beautiful city, though. I will admit that. And we did a podcast, and we always get asked about the birth of Pitch Play Co. Like, how did it start? What inspired you, et cetera, et cetera. And when I was working in corporate, I was making like $140,000 a year or around that. So for me to leave that corporate job and then start my own business as an entrepreneur, the amount of fear that I had just taking that first step was crazy. It was super high. Like, if you watch my Gems and Gamers, then you'll see like I was slowly talking my way into it, slowly building up the courage to move in that direction. I was slowly getting there, but it took a lot, man. It took a lot. Obviously, I have a ton of faith in God, so that faith, I feel confident there. And if I'm doing the right thing, then I know that it'll work out. Then you got to talk to your wife. So I'm like, yo, Kels, like, I wanna start my own business. I know I'm making a ton of bread, but I'm trying to go. So that's fear there. And then now you talk to your family, right? You talk to your friends. You don't need their approval, but obviously, since y'all are friends, you gonna let them know, right? You going to chop it up with them. So I spoke to them, my friends, my family. Next thing you know, you have to tell it to the public, because if you want your own business, you need customers, and if you want customers, then you gotta let everyone know, people that know you, people that work with you. You gotta let them know, hey, I'm starting my own business, show some support. Boom. So it's fear after fear after fear after fear. All fear of, if it doesn't work out, what people are gonna think, this, and that. But one thing I've learned from taking the leap of faith into my own, business and my own entrepreneurship, you'll laugh at your fears when you find out who you really are. Like, facts. You can't really be afraid to fail. It's like, when people look at me now, at least when they interview me, they're all right, we're going to ahead. And, I wasn't really paying attention, but I guess, I guess we good. So I'm gonna just go ahead and bounce. How do I sprint? Yeah, I'm gonna just leave. Now when people look at me, they go, "Oh my goodness, man, you got your own business. You really killing the game. You're doing this. You're doing that." But in my head, I'm like, I'm glad y'all loving it. I'm glad y'all supporting it. But I remember that money. I remember that security. I'll say it like that. It wasn't really the money I missed. It's just that level of security that I had. You know what I mean? Like, I had a decent amount of security. If I wanted to start a family when I had that role, it would be easy. We'll be okay. But the where I was at in life, like the place that I was at was not the place I needed to be. And I would have never found a better place if I didn't conquer that fear of leaving the place that I was currently at. So that's what I mean by don't be afraid to fail. If it's something major that you have in your head, it's something major that you want to do, then try it. You're not always going to be successful. I know a lot of entrepreneurs that had 1 startup, 2 startups, 3 startups, and it didn't work out. But they kept going. So I see certain stories and I get inspired by certain things. But I want people, in this space, people that's just chilling, playing games, just getting away from reality, having some fun, just chilling a little bit. I want y'all to know that when it's time to pursue what you gotta pursue, don't be afraid to do so. Consider it like playing a video game, right? A game like Fallout 4 would have been terrifying for me to play. I don't like suspense. I don't like suspense. I don't like stuff jumping out at me, like all that. Yeah, I'm like, nah, bro, I can't even do it. If y'all ever watch me and Kelly play Outlast, you'll see I was just like the whole time, just like, I can't wait for this to be over. I cannot wait for this to be over. I am not a fan of this at all. But it turned out to be a very, very fun experience for Kelly for sure. She loves that game. She likes spooky stuff. Much braver than I am. I'm not. I'm not with all that. But it turned out to be a fun experience. For both of us. You got to get over your fear of like little things too, like Fallout I never would have wanted to play, and now I absolutely love this game. It's almost too close to reality. Now the AIs are. AIs have been around, but now that it's just like set in that it's such a real world application. Now it's just like, now you just gotta embrace it. Like, oh, okay, Fallout could actually be a thing. Like, a post-apocalyptic world like this is very, very feasible. It's not even like a joke anymore. Obviously there's some unrealistic things, but there's a lot of realistic things too. I ain't gonna hold you. Really? I followed this man into a trap, bro? Like, I thought you. I'm gonna just sneak past this. This would definitely be me in a post-apocalyptic world. I'm seeing people scrap. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm sneaking past all that if I can avoid it. Just let me get home, eat my rat stew. You know what I mean? Wait for my Lord and Savior Jesus to come, because I don't want no smoke with nothing. Nothing over here, partner. I'm a chill dude. I stay in the crib now. But anyway, now I got to experience this though, and like my mindset, my mentality kind of opened up about about games like this and people who play it, because if I'm scared to play, I'm thinking people who play it are a certain kind of way. When I try something, when I'm not afraid of failure, then it's like then I realize I have no need or reason to judge others who do things that I necessarily wouldn't do, because they conquer their fear of actually trying a thing, good or bad, right? Like conquering fear is always a victory. At least that's how I see it. Conquering fear is always a victory. So I definitely salute people who are like me. I definitely salute people who are like me and are in a world where you get laughed at or ridiculed for believing in God, and talking about it so openly for a lot of reasons. It's not weird for people to feel a certain type of way about it. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But I salute people that do it so openly, because it took me a while to get here. Like it felt weird for me to talk about it, but then I realized if I don't mind talking about everything else, why am I so afraid to talk about my faith? All right. So then I thought about people like my Bishop Delcy Bronner. When I really think about it, I was going to him when I was like 13. I'm 31 now. So where we at? We at 19 years? 13, 19? No, I'm at 18 years. I'll be 32 soon, so almost 19. And I probably was even younger. I really can't remember. But think about that. If he preached almost every Sunday, that's week after week after week after week after month after month after month after month after year after year after year. Think about the consistency and determination that you have to live your life wholeheartedly trying to teach others about something that most people hate. You can't be afraid of fear at that point. And also is another reason you shouldn't be afraid of failure, because if you do believe in God, like I believe in God, then like what's the point of feeling fear? At that point, if you believe it's something bigger than you, then how can you fail? If everything's bigger than you, then think about how small you actually are. So if you get over yourself, what are you afraid to fail for? Because you might get it wrong today, you might get it wrong tomorrow, but best believe when you get it right, you have already failed so much to that point that people not even going to think about the times you failed. And the people that do think about those, you won't even care about what they think, because you didn't care about what they thought when you failed to get to the point where you were successful. Real talk, man. Think about LeBron James. This man gets ridiculed daily, hourly, every second. I guarantee if you look at X or look at Twitter and you search LeBron James and then you refresh it, tell me if new stuff don't come up immediately as you refresh it. And I bet you a lot of it is hate. It's definitely going to be some positive stuff for sure, but I bet you it's a ton of hate too. Real talk. I bet you it is. I know it is. I know it is, but he's been dealing with that since I was a child. If he's been in the league for going on 20 years and I'm 31, majority of his life, you know what I'm saying? Like, since majority of my life, majority of his life, he's been getting hated on. And I've been behind closed doors, not having to be in the forefront, not having to endure that type of ridicule. And I'm sitting here afraid to fail when it's people like that who's has to fail in front of the whole world for all their life. My Bishop, Delcy Bronner, he did, he chose that life. Or he chose that walk. He chose to go forth with the mission that he was called to do. And I'm sure he gets ridiculed. I'm sure it's ways that I'll never see that he gets ridiculed. I'm telling you, I've only been in business for a year. Y'all, come on, man. If y'all knew some of the things that was said about me or done to me already in the first year, I couldn't imagine 20 plus years of being successful. Oh, man. Things that people would say, it gotta be crazy. It gotta be crazy. And the thing is, they'll never know. The people that have something negative to say don't even care, right? Because they'll never know what it feels like, for real. You know, so if you place your value on what other people have to say or other people think, you're gonna mess yourself up big time. Big time. Yeah, I had a guy. He said to me, you know, he was someone that I was. He wasn't a client of mine, but we were at a networking event, and I was teaching him because I'm a career coach. So I was teaching him about the game of business. That's the whole point of Pitch Play Co. Teaching people how to play the game of business. Excuse me. And I told him, I said, you know, who you were the day you were born, that's exactly who you are meant to be. You were born with a gift. You were born with a purpose. You were born with a vision. You know, you were born with things that as you get older, you simply let go. Like life beats you down and you just start letting go and you start following in the crowd, right? The moment you follow the crowd, you lose your identity. You lose yourself. And the moment you lose yourself, the moment you lose yourself, that's the moment you let go of who you actually are, right? You can get with any label. You can get with a gang, you can get with an association, you can get with an organization, and you start to label yourself under that affiliation and not label yourself as you, boom, got you. Lost your identity. Now I made you believe that you don't have those dreams anymore. You don't have that purpose anymore. You're not important. And the moment I can make you think you're not important, then I could easily distract you from the simple fact that you have a purpose. I'm going to do Gems and Game and You Have Purpose Part 2. I'm much better at it now, so I feel like the message would be even better. But as I was explaining this to him, he said to me, well, I did have a dream as a kid, but what do you do when your dreams get shot down by your family? And I told him, I said, man, I hate to tell you this because I know you really care about their thoughts and their opinions, but forget them. Y'all might use a different word instead of forget, but bro, like, that's level 1. Your friends and family gonna be the first people that doubt you. You don't think I have friends and family tell me not to pursue my dreams? Tell me not to quit my job? You don't think that? Of course I did. 100% I did. And that's level 1, because after that, like I said, and then you got to announce to the world who you are. Now, these people, the people you announcing to the world, they don't know you. They don't care about you. So imagine if your friends and family have something negative to say. Imagine what the world is going to say. And that's level 1. And man, the moment, look how terrifying this guy, like, of course I'm hesitant to play this game, man. Look at this. But yeah, like the moment you start to waver and you start to have that fear of failure creep in and you thinking about what everyone else says, boop, got you. Now you lost. Now it's over with for you. That's how it works. That's why you can't have fear of failure. Can't have fear of failure. Have no fear of failure. For what? Don't be afraid to fail. Have no fear of failure. I'll end with this because I think I'm pretty much done with this today. I'll end with this. I was at Mass Men's Service at Word of Faith, which is Bishop Delcy Bronner's church. So I do attend the same church. And in Mass Men's Service, we were talking about what it takes to be a man. A righteous man, essentially. So we had all these positive words on the board, and everyone was talking about what you have to do to be a good man and this and that. And then the question came, well, what do you have to do to be a strong man? So I didn't really speak because I feel like the message wasn't really for me to throw in my input until Bishop asked, what does it take to be a strong man? And then I felt the need to answer. So I raised my hand and I say, to be a strong man, you have to be vulnerable. And the whole church went quiet, like, vulnerable. I've never heard that before. And the reason that I say that is, if you are afraid to be vulnerable, or you never allow yourself to be vulnerable, then you're never allowing yourself to expose your weakness. And how can you be strong if you don't know what your weaknesses are? If you're not afraid to be vulnerable, if you don't go out on the internet and be like, yo, I'm starting my own business, or I'm leaving my job, or I'm this and that, you really wouldn't know your true strength or how to get stronger, because you have this false facade that you have everything that you need because you're not making yourself vulnerable. You have this falsehood of invulnerability, when in reality there's something in you that you're mad guarded for, because you're afraid that if someone sees it, they might think you're weak, or that you might feel weak. That's why I said vulnerability. I mean, Bishop explained it in his own way, but that junk is real, bro. That junk is real. Like, if you're afraid to fail, and if you're not willing to be vulnerable, I can't really look you in your eyes and tell you you're a strong man. You're a strong man. I had a dude at the gym one time. Mad. We was hooping. This dude was mad. He was having an off day and I was cooking this day. And for whatever reason, he decided to get violent. It's basketball. It happens all the time. So this isn't the most important part of the story, but the most important part is he got mad and he like put his hand around my neck, tried to intimidate me. He didn't squeeze or nothing, he just tried to intimidate me. But I gotta tell you, I'm walking by faith, so like the fear of man, like, it wasn't there. It wasn't even intimidated. It was just more like, really, bro? That's what we doing? Like, that's how we kicking it? So I just stared at him in his eyes, and he just let go. And if y'all know me when I'm playing competitive stuff, I did start talking. I was talking mad trash afterwards, like, yo, this man crazy, man. This man nuts. This man choking people over a basketball game, blah, blah, blah. He was like, yeah, but you still talking about it? I said, bro, I ain't worried about that, bro. I'm walking by faith. I'm just letting you know what you doing is crazy. Right? And I don't know why, when I said that, I don't know why the whole gym like got still. It was almost like they never heard that before. It was almost like they was expecting me to say something completely different. It's like they was expecting me to be violent. But the fact that I was so vulnerable and sharing that so transparent, that almost showed them that I'm definitely ain't worried about what they talking about or fighting or nothing like that, because I'm on a different type time. That I think that exposed my strength way more than exposed my weakness. That's the whole point about me saying don't be afraid to be vulnerable. But I'm surprised this really is 28 minutes. Like I said, I be trying to have my gyms and gaming be kind of short. But have no fear of failure, y'all. Like, you'll laugh at your fears when you find out who you really are. That is facts. And you really are somebody. You really are somebody. Best believe it, man. But y'all take it easy. God bless.